Welcome to the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation Hall of Fame Induction Dinner. Presenting sponsor, benefactor, bronze sponsors, patron sponsor.
Good evening. I have to ask you one question. Is this a great night or what? Every year we have a great class of inductees, and the big worry is next year, what are we going to do? Well, we topped it again this year. We have a magnificent class of deserving people, and I'm glad they're sharing this special night with us. I'm Stuart Rader. I'm president of the Michigan Jewish Sports Hall of Fame, and I want to welcome everybody. On behalf of the entire Board of Governors, it's my pleasure to welcome you to this evening to celebrate the many achievements of these wonderful sports people. At this time, I would like to ask to stand and join us Chazan Daniel Gross to do both the United States and the Israeli national anthem.
Please join me. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Kol od baleva penima nefesh Yehudi omia ulfate mizrach kadima ain letzion Sophia. Od lo tikvatenu, hatikva bat shnot alpayim, liotam chofshi be'artzenu, Eretz Zion v'Yerushalayim. Liotam chofshi be'artzenu, Eretz Zion v'Yerushalayim. You may be seated. Thank you very much.
So I'm not sure if you realize, but that was a duet. Now, I let him take lead, but that was a duet. So while you're here at the Jewish Center, for those of you that have never been, after the dinner, after you bid on the auction, you might want to take a walk downstairs to the Hall of Fame, where there's Jewish greatness throughout, and there's magnificent history. For those of you that are Detroiters, you walk through and you say, I knew him, and he was a friend of my dad's, and that guy, I beat him in basketball on my porch or whatever it was. But it's a wonderful thing for you to go and see. And I hope you'll take that walk down there. As you'll see, the hallway is almost filled, and our goal next year from the proceeds tonight are to continue the paneling to make it as beautiful as it's been so far. Unfortunately, some of those faces on the wall have left us this year. So we pay tribute to our dear friends, Hall of Famers, members Dan Arnold, Sam Taub, and Bill Fagenson, and Pillar of Excellence, Howard Stone, who is also one of the most outstanding board members and my 7th grade gym teacher. And we will miss them greatly. They touched all of our lives. This year, we would especially be remiss if we didn't thank our 2019 Hall of Fame sponsors. So I'm going to do this one slow. Illich Holdings, David Layton, Douglas Lane and Associates, Vinnie Johnson and the Piston Group, and Peter and Danielle Carmanos and the Mad Dog Technology. So I want to take 1 minute. I want everybody to thank them because as a charity, you're nowhere without those that help you in that way. I'd like to recognize our important founding and members of their families. I'm not sure if they've joined us today, but I'm hoping Miney Milgram is here today, and Seymour Broad. Shirley and Alvin Foon's family, the Fishman family, the Jacobs, and the Steinberg family. And if you guys would please stand up just for a moment, because you were all involved in the start of this organization. So while I've got everybody clapping, I'm going to ask my Board of Governors to please stand up. And thank you. I thank you. So because of this evening, besides continuing Jewish sports history, the foundation this allows us to support the foundation and perpetuate and maintain our commitments for future generations of the Hall of Fame and the charitable giving that we do. For example, the Lawrence and Idell Weisberg Cancer Treatment Center, Carmanos, during the annual Hank Greenberg golf outing, and our Dr. Steve and Evelyn Rosenstar of Tomorrow's scholarship programs. So the scholarship program is relatively new, and I think we've now bestowed scholarships on almost 20 kids. And as far as our involvement with cancer and cancer research, we've given over $2 million, so a little pat on our back. So now the moment you've all been waiting for me to be done. I'd like to welcome our Hall of Fame class of 2016 and tonight's Masters of Ceremony, Mike Stoney Stone, co-host of the Jamie and Stoney Show on 97.1 The Ticket. Welcome, Stoney.
Thank you, Stuart. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Usually, we start with a little state of the state, so to speak, and how things have changed from last year to this year. Well, because there are some people in this audience that have some responsibilities with what's going on, I'm going to be very nice. However, we will say a few things. The Lions won yesterday. And might trade Darius Slay in the next 12 to 15 hours. Yes, they are now officially an average team at 3-3-1. The Pistons, a team that actually made the playoffs, although some of us didn't want them to. We'd rather have tanking. That's the problem with sports today. Sometimes you sit there, it's better to be really, really bad than you get a good draft choice than be in the middle. Unfortunately, that's what happens a lot. Pistons stay in the middle, and they're actually beating Indiana right now, 48-41. Then there's the Tigers and the Red Wings, which are going through what a lot of us have wondered for a long time. They're rebuilding, and Christopher Illich, of course, is here. I'm sure he doesn't love seeing Comerica Park the past few summers, but because he's invested into this thing, into this community, and he has two gentlemen, Al Avila and Steve Eisenman, who are both here. They're the Bob the Builders. Let's hear it for Bob the Builders. Because rebuilding takes time and patience. They can't, and I know they won't, worry about a-holes on the radio like myself and my friends who sit there and say, do this move, do this. We don't know what we're talking about. They do. So hopefully the rebuild will, get there in time. It is tough. And then we have our college sports. Boy, the Spartans really are looking good, huh? Whew, man, usually it's the other way around. Michigan, of course, I'll get the basketball. Michigan, hey, no matter where you go to school, it's always good to kick Notre Dame's ass. Now, if they can only do something with that damn school in Columbus, then maybe we're getting somewhere. Basketball is a new beginning at Michigan with Juwan Howard, and Michigan State has the #1 ranked team in the country preseason, and partly because they have the #1 medical doctor in the NCAA who's here today. I do want to mention something special to me, and that's that, and I don't want to single him out over anybody else, but the fact that Larry Brown is here tonight. Way back about a decade or 12 years ago, actually it's been 15 years since he left, to do this show with some fat Polish guy named Wojo, and Larry used to come on our show every week, and we just loved our conversations. We'd argue, and I'll never forget once before the Eastern Conference semifinals, we were like, Wojo and him were like yelling on the phone, and we get to the arena, and he goes, that was great, wasn't it? He loved doing that. And the fact that so many of his former players are here, let's give a round of applause. Ben Wallace, Rip Hamilton is here. I see John Long is here, Earl Cureton is here. And of course, the most powerful man in basketball one time, Worldwide Wes is here. And I just got this text that Rasheed Wallace was going to be here, but he was teaching his high school team how to double team the inbound play and leave guys wide open for a 3-shot like Robert Horry. Yeah, Rasheed, I'm sorry, we'll never let that down. All right, for the first presentation this evening, it's my honor to start with an award that pays tribute to the Foundation's dear friend, Steve Rosen. It is my pleasure to introduce Evelyn Rosen.
Hi. Steve Rosen believed that with dedication, perseverance, and grit, one could achieve anything he or she set out to do. This scholarship is meant to honor Steve's generous and gracious spirit and to help hardworking student athletes pursue their dreams. He would have been thrilled to have had an opportunity to focus more on the things he loved during his college years. And he'd be even more thrilled to give this opportunity to future student athletes. Thanks to the generosity of our family and friends, this scholarship serves as a beautiful and fitting legacy to my late husband. The first honor of the evening recognizes the accomplishments of 2 amazing students. To be an athlete in high school today, you must be a top-notch athlete, carry a high grade point average, and commit hours to serving the community. I am very proud of the accomplishments of each of our Stars of Tomorrow scholarship recipients. Here is a look at the Dr. Stephen and Evelyn Stars of Tomorrow Scholarship Class of 2019.
The Dr. Stephen of blessed memory and Evelyn Rosen Stars of Tomorrow Scholarship Program is designed to assist Jewish high school seniors who have dedicated themselves to achieving outstanding academics while also accomplishing and competing at the highest athletic level. Gabriel Burke graduated summa cum laude from Berkeley High School. He was a member of the National Honor Society, Science Honor Society, 2018 DECA Innovation Plan State Competitor, and 2019 DECA Learn and Earn State Champion International Competitor. He was also a founding member and president of the Lunch and Learn Club and served as a peer-to-peer mentor. Gabe began playing soccer as a child. He earned a spot with the South Oakland County Soccer Travel Program at age 7 and played through high school, winning multiple championships and tournaments. In high school, Gabe was a member of the varsity soccer and swim teams. As the starting left-back defender, Gabe was recognized by the Oakland Activities Association as an all-area athlete, as well as recognized by his coaches as 2018 MVP and 2018 Most Improved Player. As a member of the Berkeley swim team, Gabe was a part of the OAA Blue Division Championship team swimming on the medley relay B team. Gabe was recognized as a scholar varsity athlete for both teams his junior and senior years. Gabe attends Michigan State University in the residential business community, pursuing a degree in business.
Hi, my name is Gabe Burke. I want to say I'm very grateful to be one of the recipients of the Dr. Stephen and Evelyn Rosen Stars of Tomorrow Scholarship. I'm really sorry I can't be there tonight, but I want to say I'm very honored and humbled to be a part of the scholarship. Thank you guys so much.
Morgan Lieb, who recently finished her senior year playing with the Little Caesars AAA 19U team, first took to the ice competitively at age 8 and began travel hockey at age 12. She played for the Troy Sting during the 2016-17 season and the Kensington Valley Ravens 16U team the following season, where she was one of the team's leading scorers. Morgan committed to AAA hockey in 2018-19 as a forward and recently graduated from Great Lakes Cyber Academy with honors. Morgan was honored to represent Detroit at the Maccabi Games in Orange County in 2018. She was the only female hockey player in the history of the Detroit teams to play with an all-male team. She assisted her team to the quarterfinals. Morgan attends Utica College in New York, where she plays forward.
I'd like to say how honored I am to be selected out of an amazing group of Jewish young athletes. Secondly, I would like to thank Dr. Stephen and Evelyn Rosen for this incredible honor to represent the Stars of Tomorrow Scholarship. I will make sure to show my dedication on and off the ice as being a Jewish student athlete. Lastly, I would like to thank the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation and all of the hard work that the committee has gone through to put this dinner together tonight. And of course, I would like to thank my mom, my dad, and my brother for always believing in me and always coming to my games. Thank you once again to the family of Dr. Stephen and Evelyn Rosen. I will continue to honor his legacy.
Congratulations to Gabriel Burke and Morgan Lieb, the 2019 Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation, Dr. Stephen of Blessed Memory and Evelyn Rosen, Stars of Tomorrow Scholars.
I just want to say congratulations to Gabe Burke and Morgan Lieb. With us this evening are members of the two talented children's families.
Good evening. I'm Noah Lieb, Morgan Lieb's brother. She's very sorry she cannot attend tonight. I'm accepting this award on her behalf and wish to thank Dr. Stephen Rosen of Blessed Memory and Miss Evelyn Rosen, also the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation, and congratulations to all those being honored tonight. Thank you.
On behalf of our son Gabe, we're honored to accept this award. I want to thank Evelyn. I want to let you know the conversation that you and I had was so meaningful, and it was very special. It made this award even more special. I want to thank the committee for selecting Gabe. We're honored to be here.
As we commemorate the past, it is wonderful to celebrate the future. And to do that, I am pleased to introduce Arthur Horwitz, president of Renaissance Media, who will present the 2019 Detroit Jewish News High School Athletes of the Year.
Good evening, everyone, and it's an honor to be here. This is the 29th consecutive year since 1991 that the Jewish News has partnered with the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation to present Jewish News High School Athletes of the Year. In your program book, pages 26 to 28 give you thumbnails of this year's honorees, and also you'll see on page 28 a list of, with now 4 more honorees, 73 Jewish News High School Athletes of the Year, some who've gone on to be inducted into the Michigan Jewish Sports Hall of Fame as well. So what made this year a little bit different is we kind of always look to have a male and female Jewish News Athlete of the Year, and frankly, we were flooded. And in this case, flooded with extremely talented female athletes, and of course, one very, very talented male athlete. So what to do? Well, Why do we have to have just one female and one male? Why not truly honor a very unique and special class, if you will, if I can call them that, of Jewish News High School Athletes of the Year? So with that, let's take a look at the accomplishments of these athletes.
The Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation has established several programs aimed at recognizing the accomplishments of exceptional high school athletes both on and off the field and fostering athletic participation within the young Jewish community. We recognize 4 outstanding athletes as the Jewish News Athletes in 2019. Danielle Hardige was a 3-sport elite athlete throughout her Detroit Country Day high school and club career. An honoree of the Detroit Athletic Club, Elle was a finalist for the Michigan Athlete of the Year and is now a Yale University freshman. She was a 4-time All-State tennis player and won the individual and team state tennis titles all 4 years. She was also a 4-time All-State soccer player and led Country Day's soccer team to the district title and a 21-1 record her senior year. In hockey, as captain of her Bell Tire 19U hockey team, Elle led her team in scoring with 131 points in 65 games. As captain of her Varder Elite Club's National League team, Elle led her team to the quarterfinals of the national tournament and 3 straight national tournament bids. Elle has been part of the USA Hockey Olympic Development Program since 2015. She was a member of the 18U USA Hockey Women's National Team and proudly wore the USA jersey in international competition. Michaela Schultz is a top nationally ranked junior golfer and is ranked number 1 in Michigan. Winning the Women's Western Golf Association Junior Championship was a highlight of her many successes competing at a national level over the past several summers. Michaela's achievements on the golf course resulted in her being named Golf Association of Michigan Junior Girls Player of the Year in both 2017 and 2018. She was also awarded Female Golfer of the Year in 2017 and 2018 by the Detroit Free Press Sports Awards. Michaela played the number 1 spot on the Bloomfield Hills High School varsity team all 4 years, was team captain junior and senior years, and set numerous records. Michaela currently plays golf at the University of Michigan. Danielle Wolf is a 2019 graduate of Walled Lake Northern High School who plays soccer at the University of Michigan. At Walled Lake, Danny was a 4-year varsity player and 3-year captain. She was a 4-year All-State, All-Region, All-District, and All-League. She was a 2018 Player of the Year finalist from the Detroit Free Press and winner in 2019. In 2019, she was also the number 1 ranked player in the state. She played club soccer for the Michigan Jaguars from 2014 to 2019 and was a 2-time National Champion Series participant in 2017 and 2019, earning the Top 11 Players Award at the 2017 National Championship. As part of the Olympic Development Program from 2014 to 2017, Danny played on the Michigan State team, the Boca Regional team, and was in the national training pool. Josh Nodler began skating at age 3 and his playing career at 4. While in middle school, he played hockey with the Novi Ice Cats, and then he moved to Little Caesars program. While in the 9th grade, Josh was asked to become a member of Honey Baked Bantam Major AAA hockey team. He was elected captain of the team. As a sophomore, Josh played on the Honey Baked 16U AAA team and skated for the High Performance Hockey League. He also competed in the USA 16U National Tournament. He was also a first-round selection for the USHL Fargo Force and continued to play French horn. During his senior year, he took classes online through Berkeley schools. He was selected for the United States World Hockey Junior Challenge and gold medalist team USA World Junior Challenge. Then the biggest highlight of the year came on June 22nd, 2019, when Josh was drafted in the 5th round, number 150 overall, by the Calgary Flames.
I am extremely humbled and honored to be among one of the recipients of the Jewish Athlete of the Year award. It gives me great pride to be able to win this award as so many other Jewish athletes did before me. I would like to thank the entire selection committee for giving me this wonderful opportunity, and I would like to give a huge thank you to my parents, sister, grandparents, other family members, and coaches for always providing me with the tools and support needed to be successful. I want to give a special acknowledgement to Howard Golding and in the memory of the late Howard Stone for encouraging my nomination. In today's society, it is of the utmost importance to always maintain strong Jewish tradition and identity. Playing hockey gives me a voice and a platform to hopefully encourage other aspiring young Jewish athletes to strive for greatness. Once again, thank you very much for this award and have a wonderful night.
Congratulations to our 2019 Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation Jewish News High School Athletes of the Year. Daniel Hartage, Michaela Schultz, Danielle Wolf, and Josh Nodler.
By the way, in case it didn't warrant mentioning, the High School Athletes of the Year are chosen based on their athletic achievements. What an incredible class, as you've just seen. So with that, what I'd like to do is, first of all, bring up the family of Danielle Harche. And they've been up here before because they have an older daughter who is now at Emory University, who was a previous Jewish News High School Athlete of the Year.
Thanks to everybody that's here tonight. Elle is sorry that she wasn't able to make it. She's at school. The season has started. But she asked me just to say a couple of things. She said, first off, that she's very humbled to be presented this award with the other three honorees that are there. Their academics and their athletics have been excellent. They've shown that they're truly exceptional, and to be in that group has made her feel even a little bit more proud of what she's been able to accomplish. She'd also like to give a special acknowledgement to her grandma and grandpa. Grandpa is not with us tonight at this. We're going to go see him afterwards. But to Ava and Jan Raval. So thank you very much, everybody.
Next, our honoree is Michaela Schultz, who's here tonight. So please, come on up.
Hello, everyone. Just wanted to thank everyone for coming tonight. I'm very honored to be here, and I'm so happy that I could make it tonight. I just wanted to thank first of all, my parents for being here, and my sister, and the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation for hosting this event. Thank you.
And now we have Danielle Wolf, and she is unique to some degree because her father, Marty, is actually an inductee in the Michigan Jewish Sports Hall of Fame. So if you would come up, please, Danielle.
I wanted to start off by thanking the association for this award. It's such an honor and a privilege to be receiving this. Next, I wanted to thank my coaches who have supported me and pushed me through all my hard times on and off the soccer field. Next, I wanted to thank my parents and my siblings. My siblings mostly for some of my aggression on the field, but not all. And next, I wanted to thank my Nana and Papa, who have been at every game, waiting for a sweaty hug at the end. Thank you again for this award, and go Blue.
And finally, the parents of Josh Nodler are here. If they would come up, please.
Good evening, everybody. It's an honor for my wife Dana and I to be up here to accept this on behalf of Joshua. To the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame Foundation, we thank you. This is a tremendous honor for Joshua to receive. To Howard Goling, thank you very much for his nomination, as well as to Mr. Stone. Let him rest in peace, both of which were former teachers of mine. We appreciate them nominating Joshua and the support they've given him for this award. I have to thank my wife and my family and my extended family for all the support that they provide for Josh as he pursues his athletic career and education. Thanks a lot, and appreciate us being here tonight.
So with that, I'm going to punt it back to Stoney. Thank you again, and hopefully next year we'll see most of you, if not all of you maybe, for the 30th Jewish News High School Athletes of the Year. Thank you.
By the way, I did want to mention that Michaela Schultz's uncle is also a member of the Michigan Jewish Sports Hall of Fame, tennis star Aaron Krickstein, so I think we should have acknowledged that as well. Tonight's Pillar of Excellence recipients have officiated at the highest level, protected athletes to stay healthy on the field, coached at every level while mentoring the youth of our community. Here is this year's prestigious Pillar of Excellence group.
In 2012, the Pillars of Excellence Award was established to honor a lifetime achievement to members of the community for their outstanding contributions to athletics, sportsmanship, and the enrichment of the community. Once again in 2019, we will honor coaches, referees, and team physicians. Lance Bayless was an award-winning high school and collegiate basketball player, playing for Birmingham Groves and then Stetson University in Florida. He was Holly High School's varsity boys basketball coach from 2005 to 2018, winning 175 games, the most in school history. He ranks fourth in number of wins in the 50-year history of the Flint Metro League. In 2015, he was Oakland County Coach of the Year. Joseph Epstein was a 1953 Central High grad and was varsity football captain as a junior and senior. He played Division II football at Wayne State while earning his bachelor's degree in physical education and health sciences. He also earned his master's degree in secondary education and mathematics from Wayne State. Joe taught in Detroit Public Schools and then moved to Livonia Public School until his retirement in 1990. His love of children, teaching, and athletics inspired Joe and his wife Linda to start Totem Pole Day Camp. It operated for several years until it was sold in 1967. Joe taught good sportsmanship, fair play, honesty, and integrity, and to always have fun. Joe was also an early activist for gender equality in the early days of Title IX and continued fighting for and finding scholarship funding for his female athletes, a cause he continued to support long after he retired. Joe died in 2012 after a long battle with Alzheimer's disease. The words, "The Coach," are engraved on his headstone. Dr. Jeffrey Coban grew up in a sports-loving home. The family attended games for all of Detroit's pro teams and enjoyed friendly competitions. Jeff graduated from Michigan State with a Bachelor of Science in 1983 and then immediately began graduate work at the MSU College of Osteopathic Medicine. Upon completing his residency in family medicine and a fellowship in sports medicine, Jeff took on the role as head team physician at Western Michigan University. In 1995, Jeff and his family relocated to East Lansing when Jeff accepted the role as team physician and fellowship director at MSU. Shortly after Jeff's arrival at MSU, he became the head team physician and eventually director of sports medicine and performance. For the past 24 years, Jeff has worked with MSU Athletics, providing patient care responsibilities across all men's and women's sports, and served as a leader in general health care related issues at not only Michigan State, but across the Big Ten and the NCAA. David Layton graduated from the University of Toledo with a degree in journalism. He relocated to Flint where he worked in radio news. He went on to graduate from Cooley Law School and then opened a private law practice in Flint. David then ventured into the world of politics. In 2004, he ran for and won the position of Genesee County Prosecuting Attorney and is currently serving in his fourth four-year term. A highlight of David's political career includes being the Democratic nominee for Attorney General in 2010. David has officiated many league championships in the Flint, Metro, Saginaw Valley, and Genesee area conference leagues involving players who would go on to collegiate and professional careers. Having officiated dozens of state playoff games, David considers the 2007 Division III state championship game between Orchard Lake St. Mary's and East Grand Rapids at Ford Field as his most memorable, as the game went into 5 overtimes. It remains the longest game in state finals history. David was also a great athlete all summer at Camp Alton in Wolfboro, New Hampshire. Billy Slobin is the head strength and conditioning coach for the basketball and football programs at North Farmington High School. He was formerly football strength and conditioning coach at Farmington Hills Harrison High School. At Harrison, he's been part of 11 state football championship teams. In 2010, he shared the Hawks State Championship with his 2 sons as they were players on that team. A former player for legendary coach John Harrington's Harrison High School football team from 1977 to 1979, Billy maintained a beloved school tradition, the Leftover Turkey Bowl. The annual event is attended by more than 100 alumni. Billy is applauded as a youth mentor and actively participates in local reading programs. He cares about the students as if they were his own. He and his wife Tracy have 2 sons, Jake and Steven, who have both been honored as Michigan Jewish Sports Hall of Fame High School Athletes of the Year. Congratulations to the 2019 Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation Pillars of Excellence: Lance Bayless, Joseph Epstein of blessed memory, Dr. Jeffrey Kovan, David Layton, and Billy Slovin. Come on up.
Good evening, everybody, and what a crowd! What a tremendous event here! I'm overwhelmed. Last fall, I woke up one day and a feeling came over me that said 2019 was going to be a great year. This honor tonight has made 2019 great all by itself. My younger son this summer competed with the Maccabi Games in the Pan Am, Mexico City. They won the gold. He was part of that. My older son is in town from the University of Cincinnati, and my wife's here, along with 8 siblings, and my 90-year-old mother are sitting right here in the second row. In 1974, my father signed our family up as members of this very Jewish community center in the mid-'70s. I played basketball here almost every Sunday morning during my high school years. My family and I have spent our entire lives exploring and embracing our Jewish heritage. And even more the last 33 years, that's when my father passed away at age 58 in 1986. I know my brothers and sisters here today, all 8 of them, love me very much, but I believe they are here in memory of him and his Jewish heritage. The most excited of everyone here upon learning of this award is probably my Italian 90-year-old mother sitting right here in the second row. This day is very meaningful to me and my family. It's extremely heartfelt and humbling. I cannot be more honored to receive this award. I want to thank the nominating committee. I wanted a special thank you to Siri Chickerell for her immense work in putting this together. I want to thank everybody here today. I'm just overwhelmed to be here among everybody here, and the positive vibrations in the dining room and in here tonight is incredible. Thank you very much.
Hang on just a moment. Hang on a second. Coach Izzo, I'm kind of busy. Yeah, Larry Brown is here. He's not coaching college anymore. Coach, don't worry about it. He's not recruiting. He's not doing anything. Back off. I know you're uptight about the game coming up next week against Kentucky. It's just another game. I'm sorry, Coach. I shouldn't have said that. All right, sorry, Coach. You got to go. Sorry about that. I apologize. I just want to say first, growing up in the Detroit community and really living my life, or most of my adult life in East Lansing, you kind of lose touch with what's here a little bit in the Jewish community. It's a small community in East Lansing, and it's a really strong community there, but it's small. And when you grow up in a community like this, and for all those years before college, you forget how strong it is and how wonderful it is and how supportive it is. So thank you for everybody here for bringing that memory back to me, because it's been a while, and I'm really honored to be here. Thank you so much to the board of the Michigan Jewish Sports Hall of Fame. When I got the phone call, the first thing I said was, "What are you talking about?" And then I said, "Why me?" And then I started thinking, well, was it
the wiffle ball that I played when I was a kid that I was just damn good? Or was it the dunks on that hoop at home? I was about 8.5 feet, but it was still, at that time, that was Julius Erving time, and that's who we modeled ourselves after. And then I realized that it was a lot more than that. It was really about why I went into medicine in the first place, and that was really to be there for people, to try to do what was best for them, and to make sure that the lives they were going to lead from that point forward, I could have a part in. So I want to thank all those athletes and the coaches and the administrators, from youth sports to high school sports to college sports and even some professional athletes, that have let me be a part of their lives. Let me help them achieve their goals. That's always been my job, is to help others create for themselves their goals and help them achieve those. One of the most, probably of all the different memories of athletes I've seen in my office, believe it or not, was a gentleman who was 89 years old. And you don't think about 89-year-olds in sports medicine, but he came into the office because his objective was he wanted to get his quads stronger because he was a downhill racer, and he'd be 90 in 3 months. And when he turned 90, he had to make 3 runs down the regional championships up in northern Michigan. And when he was 90, he had to finish those runs. And if he couldn't finish those runs, he couldn't beat that damn Austrian guy from Austria, from Austria, who was 93. And I think we forget that sports medicine is so much more than just high school and college and even professional athletes. It's people who remain active and have been active their whole lives, and that's who we're here to take care of. So I was lucky enough not only to take care of some of the community in East Lansing, but obviously some incredible athletes, and I look forward to doing that in the future. Who I am truly, though, is a reflection of 2 incredible people, and that's my mother and father. They taught all 3 of us, all 4 of our children, their children, to be really courteous, respectful, and honest. And each of us have really made sure that's who we are and who we've been throughout our entire lives. But sports medicine is not your typical 9-to-5 job. It's what we do during the day, but there's weekends and there's evenings and there's times away, and that doesn't happen with a home life and a supportive group of people around you to make it work. My best friend, my wife, Jessica, and I have been together for 34 years. We met at Camp Walden close to 40 years ago. I'm not here, I don't do what I do if she doesn't do what we do at home to make our family work. We have 3 incredible kids now spread out across the country, and they are who they are because of who she was as their mother, from me as my wife, and my best friend. In closing, thank you to all the many people that have crossed my path, have made me understand what it takes to be the very best you can be. And I joke about Coach Izzo, but the one thing I'll tell you about him is he expects the best from you every day, and he will challenge you, not to necessarily question what you're asking, but to make sure you do the very best you can do to be the very best you can be, because your patients are relying on you to do that. And so thanks to him, thanks to the board, thanks to all those patients who've been so important and have really helped me achieve my goals, and most importantly to the Spartan Nation out there, go green.
Good evening. You saw in the film clip that I was privileged to ref the longest game in the finals history of the MHSAA football finals between East Grand Rapids and Orchard Lake St. Mary's. It went 5 overtimes. Well, after the 3rd overtime, it was Saturday night at Ford Field, and after the 3rd overtime, I was a little tired, and there was a TV timeout, and I'm looking to the sideline, and there's a gentleman named Nate Hampton, who's the assistant director of the Michigan High School Athletic Association. And he's doing this to me, which in TV parlance means wrap it up. Well, I said, Nate, I can't make the game go any faster. Well, come to find out, Nate's doing this because the MHSAA was paying $10,000 an hour to rent Ford Field, and they wanted that game over. It was 1998 that I read an article in the Flint Journal that the MHSAA was in need of football officials. I showed the story to my wife, Therese, who's here tonight, and who was well aware of my passion for football, because that's pretty much what I do when I'm not working. I watch football. And she said, go for it. So first and foremost, I want to thank her for encouraging me to pursue officiating and for sacrificing our Thursday and Friday nights in the fall. She's lit a lot of Shabbos candles without me, and she and our kids have held down the fort. Just this past Friday night, I came in from the Midland Dow game to the Shabbos candles glowing in our kitchen. So thank you very much, dear, for everything and for supporting me. Thanks also to our kids, Andrew, Eric, Adam, and Denise, who are here. Amy, Al, and the grandkids couldn't make it, too late of a night. Adam, incidentally, is a very fine official in his own right, and he's on our varsity crew. I want to also thank Joel and Nancy Kaufman of West Bloomfield, my brother and sister-in-law, and their children, Carly and Dan Weberman, and Jacob Kaufman and Sydney Wolf, for being here, and to Pearl and Steve Kleiner of Flint, who drove in for tonight's event. And thanks to Hall of Fame umpire Elliot Parnes for nominating me, for Steve Bernstein for making the call, to my assistant Marie Precades and John Potberry for helping me with the logistics for tonight. And one last shout out to Mike Stone, with whom I shared the athletic field at Camp Alton 50 years ago. Thank you very much.
Hold on one second. A little birdie told me it's somebody's birthday. So Billy, before you speak, ready, everybody. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Billy. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, man. Thank you. Well, you know what? I'm used to speaking to a bunch of high school guys and sometimes with some high school coaches. To follow these guys here, Sari told me 1 minute. Billy, you got 1 minute. I can't live up to the excellent speakers here, but I'm going to do my very best to thank everybody in my mind here. It's such an honor to be here tonight among all these esteemed honorees, previous, current. It's just unbelievable. I'd like to thank Coach John Harrington, the winningest coach in the history of the state of Michigan, for allowing me the privilege to learn how to coach from the best high school football staff there ever was, ever will be, and just a master's class in how to handle things. Unbelievable. 13 state championships. I'd also like to thank all the great players I've coached over the past 35 years, some of whom are here tonight. It has been a truly humbling experience to watch you all grow into fathers, husbands, coaches, and follow some of our paths, and to grow up the way you have, and for us to be able to be a part of that. I'd like to thank my beautiful wife, Tracy, and my sons, Steve and Jake, previous honorees, for allowing me so much time away from our family to pursue my passion of trying to help young men, young boys, grow up to be good young men. A special thank you to my lifelong friend and coaching partner of 20 years, Steve Wise, who's here tonight, as well as my other friends and family who took time from their busy lives to come here and help us celebrate tonight. I'd also like to thank Coach John Herstein of North Farmington High School for affording many of us the opportunity to continue coaching together. He had wanted to be here tonight, but he's preparing for the state tournament right now. A very huge thank you to my good friend Harry Glanz for his nomination, for his tireless work for kids and commitment to our youth, and just for being an amazing person. And lastly, I'd just like to thank the foundation for all that they do for our community. It's wonderful, and I'm just beyond honored, and Stoney made me cry with the birthday song.
Well, let's see if I can get through this without the hankies. My family, my support, Mike, Gary, and Ellen. My family and I want to thank the Sports Foundation for this honor. Joe would have been thrilled and so flattered. You know, it's so nice to be recognized as a dedicated teacher and a winning coach. And it's even nicer to acknowledge the impact he made on so many lives, and not just our family and our friends, but the many students that he coached over the years. You know what? There were games won and games lost, and there were trophies carried home. Scholarship monies that he found and he fought to get for his players. He changed some of their lives. He made them have opportunities. We are just so proud to say he made a difference. Thank you.
Thank you again. Congratulations.
Let's hear it one more time for the 2019 Pillars of Excellence honorees. Lance Bayless, Joseph Epstein of blessed memory, Dr. Jeffrey Covan, David Layton, and the birthday boy, Billy Slobin. I do want to recognize one other person here who will probably be recognized, I have a feeling, in a couple minutes, but the matriarch of one of the greatest sports families in this world, Marion Illich, is here, and I just think she deserves our applause. Speaking of which, the Shirley and Alvin Foon Humanitarian Award was established to honor the memory of one of the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation's founders and the driving force behind its creation. Alvin Foon passed away in 1987 and Shirley in 2017. This award has an illustrious history of honorees, which is included in tonight's program. As our foundation likes to do, we like First and Friendships to be a part of the evening. First, Christopher Illich and Illich Holdings will be accepting this award shortly. Chris's father was the third recipient of the award in 1997. Secondly, to make the presentation this evening, we welcome to the stage Christopher's friend and 2009, and a friend of all of us, Hall of Fame inductee, Rick Let It Be Lowenstein.
We are happy to honor the 2019 Shirley and Alvin Foon Humanitarian Award winner, Christopher Illich.
Detroit, a hard-working city, a resilient city, a proud city, a city with grit, with a big heart. We have been honored to call it home for decades. The people of this city drive everything we do as a company, creating jobs for Detroiters, empowering education and skills training, enhancing access to affordable housing, beautifying neighborhoods and open spaces that bring people together, creating world-class cultural and entertainment venues. And our sports teams. Is there a more devoted fan base in the country? Their passion, their pride. We've won trophies. We've hoisted cups. And make no mistake, we are working relentlessly to deliver the next championship parade our fans deserve. With a forward-looking focus, our employees, thousands strong, are committed to serving others, to making a meaningful and measurable difference in this dynamic city, in the lives of Detroiters, today, tomorrow, and for decades to come. Because success is determined not by what you get, but by what you give.
Congratulations to the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation's 2019 Shirley and Alvin Foon Humanitarian Award winner, Christopher Illich.
Okay. Thanks, Tony. And I want to thank Stuart and Sari for allowing me the opportunity to introduce my friend. fellow Cranbrook alum, and a former Liquidator teammate, Chris Ilitch. It's an honor for sure, and it's just hard to believe that I have known him for over 30 years. It's crazy for me to think that. It's also wonderful to see Kelly here tonight, and really, really special for me personally to have Mrs. Ilitch in the audience. She's, as Stoney said, a remarkable woman. I fondly remember when Mr. and Mrs. I attended our wedding 37 years ago, and my first job out of college was with Little Caesars, and have just a place in my heart for the Ilitch companies. All of them are so meaningful to me. It was really the first time outside of my family's community engagement that I saw the power and the impact of corporate philanthropy on communities and literally millions of people throughout the community. And it was the first time I really saw corporate philanthropy on a large scale. I will say that their generosity has impacted, as I said, thousands of communities, not just here, but across the country, and millions of people. And I can say confidently that many people in this room have been recipients of that great impact. And so thank you to the family and to Chris for that. On a personal note, I can share the following. Chris is smart, he is focused, he is generous, and he's caring. And, you may know this, he's an outstanding athlete. His greatest attribute, however, is his selflessness and his humility. So with that, it gives me great pride that I introduce this year's Shirley and Alvin Foon Humanitarian Award to Christopher Ilitch.
Just hug them like you like them.
Take it away.
Well, thank you, Loie, for that incredible introduction. One rock-solid guy here, Rick Lowenstein, for sure. So thank you very much, Loie. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you also so much to Sari and the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation for this wonderful honor. I'm grateful. I'm humbled. And to stand here in the proud footsteps of my father, well, that renders me doubly so. This organization meant a lot to him for many reasons, especially because of the incredible work that this organization does in this community, proactively and positively impacting so many people. And this organization means a lot to me as well for those very same reasons. And so on behalf of my wife Kelly, who is here tonight, my mother Marianne, who's also here, I'd like to extend my profound thank you to the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation for all of the incredible work that you're doing in our community, along with this incredible honor for myself tonight. I also want to congratulate the 2019 Hall of Fame class, as well as those recognized as Pillars of Excellence, and the Dr. Stephen and Evelyn Rosen Stars of Tomorrow Scholarship recipients, and the Jewish News High School Athletes of the Year. You know, make no mistake, being a student athlete is tough. There is a lot to balance. There's, of course, school, but then there's homework, there's practice, there's games, there's travel, there's countless demands. And all of you student athletes have risen to the occasion and done it with determination and distinction. I know I speak on behalf of everyone here tonight when I wish all of the student athletes the very best as you pursue your promising paths to college and career. In fact, I have a hunch that sometime in the future, our general managers, Steve Eiserman and Al Avila, who are both here tonight, will be sitting across from some of those student athletes in contract negotiations. So I asked the students, go easy on these guys, would ya? Also, I just want to offer a congratulations to all of you here tonight. It's not just the words, but more importantly, the actions. When I see the participation, the giving, the generosity that happens in this room, you are all doing impactful work in this community through and with the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation. And it's happening in many different areas, whether it be health, education, and certainly much work for the less privileged. So thank you very much for the work that all of you are doing. And just imagine, if you could, for a moment, how far Detroit has come. Think about the progress that's been made in our city, and think about what we can accomplish together with a forward-looking commitment and a resolve. We have an opportunity, in fact, it's an obligation, I would say, to continue to transform this dynamic and resilient city. And so for all you've done as a group, as an organization, thank you. You know, I never donned a professional uniform, but to be involved with the Tigers and the Red Wings has been an honor and joy. I think of the games I attended with my mom and dad. I think of the games that our children have attended with my wife Kelly and I. And I think about all the passionate fans and the Hall of Fame players, the big moments, the championship runs. I think about all of that, and most, of course, thinking about hoisting that cup. And it's really, you know, it's a lifetime of memories that I will forever cherish. This is a sports town through and through, one of the very best. And I feel privileged to be a part of it, to help lead an organization with so many committed professionals who are all working hard every day, side by side, to deliver the next Stanley Cup and World Series championship that our community so richly deserves. Again, I'm so grateful to be the recipient of the Shirley and Alvin Foote Afun Humanitarian Award. I actually met Ron earlier tonight. I had a chance to talk with him and get to know him a little bit. I enjoyed that, Ron, and hear a little bit more about your parents. Very, very special people, especially here as it relates to the foundation. But this award is not about me. I think of it more as an organizational award, a reflection of the committed and compassionate colleagues we have working throughout our family of companies who are really working tirelessly every day to help improve the city that we all love, to deliver the best fan experiences in the world, and to deliver special family experiences. And those are the folks, I think, who represent us every day on the front lines and make it all happen. It was Martin Luther King who said, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? And that brings me back to my parents. You know, this city was everything to them. It's where they worked, it's where they raised a family, and it was their home. And through thick or thin, you know, good times or bad times, they were very proud of this city and so very passionate about it. And my parents believed deeply in the adage, it's not how big you are, but how local your impact can be. And they were my mentors, and the apple has not fallen far from the tree. And as I look around this room and I see familiar faces and friends, colleagues and family members, I know that principle drives each and every one of us. How do we help others and give back? How do we further transform this vibrant and resilient city? And how do we enhance the quality of life for the people of Detroit by way of education and skills development, jobs, and opportunity? And there's no doubt, indeed, we're all defined by the difference that we'll make in the lives of others. And in that spirit, and with profound gratitude, on behalf of our entire organization and the thousands of colleagues I'm fortunate to work with on a daily basis in pursuit of our mission to make this community a better place for all, I humbly accept this wonderful honor. Thank you very much.
Christopher Ilitch, ladies and gentlemen. Hank Greenberg, Bill Davidson, Benny Friedman, and Harry Newman made up the first class of the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame. Tonight, we complete another section of the Hall of Fame with 5 more extraordinary athletes who will enter the Michigan Jewish Sports Hall of Fame. Let's begin our celebration with our first Hall of Fame inductee this evening, serving it up big for the Wolverines, and let's take a look at Ronnie Bernstein.
Ronnie is the head coach of the University of Michigan's women's tennis team, a position she's held since 2007. She's led Michigan to 8 Big Ten championships, 3 Big Ten tournament titles, 8 NCAA Sweet 16 berths, and the quarterfinals of the 2016 NCAA tournament. In 12 seasons as head coach, she's amassed a record of 261-77 to push her overall 22-year coaching mark to 426-146. In Big Ten action, she has a 122-6 record along with 6 perfect seasons. Ronnie arrived at Michigan after a decorated 10-year head coaching career at Florida International University in Miami from 1997 to 2007, the winningest and longest tenured head coach in the history of FIU's women's tennis program. She was a 4-time All-American tennis player at the University of Miami, winning the 1986 NCAA Doubles Championship and earning NCAA Senior Player of the Year honors in 1988. Among her other credits, Ronnie earned the doubles gold medal in the 1985 Pan Am Games, the doubles bronze medal at the 1986 Goodwill Games, and was the triple gold medalist at the 1985 Maccabiah Games. She was named by Tennis Magazine as a member of its Collegiate All-Star team in 1986 through 1988 and was selected to the USTA Federation Cup team those same years. In 2000, Ronnie was inducted into the University of Miami Sports Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Ronnie Bernstein, on your induction into the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation Hall of Fame.
Ronnie Bernstein, come on up. Welcome to the 2019 Michigan Jewish Sports Hall of Fame.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here. I'd like to thank the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation for this great honor. It means so much to me. I grew up in South Florida and remember my childhood as going to synagogue a lot and playing lots of tennis. My parents actually helped found a temple back in Miami, and I remember spending a lot of time there. South Florida was always my home until 12 plus years ago. I got the best call of my life from the University of Michigan Athletic Department about the open women's tennis job. I had always gotten calls from other universities asking if I was interested about pursuing the open job. Michigan to me was the dream job, and bringing my family up to Ann Arbor and raising our 3 young children was something I couldn't pass up. Tennis has been a huge part of my life, and I've been so fortunate to have all the opportunities through the sport. My husband took a big step with me 12 plus years ago to move up to Michigan, and we've never looked back. I want to thank him. I want to thank Morty and my kids, Max, Jake, and Hannah, for the sacrifices that they have made for me. Thanks again to the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation for honoring me tonight, and congrats to all the other honorees in attendance. Thank you so much.
It's hard to believe we have Larry Brown and Arnie Kander are here together, and I guess they are checking maybe the Pistons score. Well, maybe that's my job. 83-78 Pistons, 8 minutes left in the game. In the meantime, we are honored to welcome back some of the Pistons tonight. I mentioned Rip Hamilton is here, Ben Wallace, Earl Cureton, John Long, and some of the guys have a message for you guys since they could not be here.
You know, when you work with a coach like Larry Brown, you immediately understand that he is the real deal. He understands how to relate to players, he understands what the X's and O's are, and more importantly, he understands how to win. Larry came in and started doing what he does best, relating to players. And then the creme de la creme was when we acquired Rashid. Larry thought that that was the greatest thing since sliced bread because he knew and understood Rashid better than anybody else. And that's why we had the success that we did. The combination of the players, combination of the organization, but more importantly, a guy like Larry Brown who made this thing work. So congratulations, Coach. You know, you work with a lot of people in this industry, but a guy who I have tremendous admiration for, a man who taught me a lot of things, and a guy who is equated with our success, both on and off the floor, is Arnie Kander.
People don't understand this. The year we won the championship, we led the lead in keeping our starting five healthy on the court. I think we won like 65 straight games or something crazy like that. It's all because of Arnie Kander. Arnie, I appreciate you for that. We appreciate you for that.
He is by far the most talented therapist, clinician, but most importantly, the most talented people person I have ever seen in my life. It's a tribute to him that he goes in along with Coach Brown. Arnie, congratulations, Mazel Tov.
Hi, this is Arn Tellem with the Detroit Pistons organization. We want to offer our heartfelt congratulations to Coach Larry Brown and Arnie Kander for being inducted into the Michigan Jewish Sports Hall of Fame tonight. I have to say, they're joining illustrious company. I was part of the 18 class, and I want to welcome them to this special club. Enjoy the evening and all our best. Congratulations on this great honor. Much love.
Larry Brown, or LB as he is known, is the only coach in basketball history to win both an NCAA national championship and an NBA title right here in Detroit in 2004. Tonight, we welcome to this house and this Hall of Fame to add to his many winning accolades. Let's take a look at this short little video.
With a resume that includes 39 years of coaching at the collegiate or professional level, enshrinement into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame's class of 2002, 3 ABA Coach of the Year awards, 2001 NBA Coach of the Year honors, and an NCAA championship with Kansas in 1988, Larry Brown is well known to Detroit sports fans for having guided the 2003-2004 Detroit Pistons to the NBA championship in his first year as head coach. Larry's accomplishments are many. He became the first coach to win an NCAA and NBA championship and the 12th coach in NBA history to win an NBA title in his first season. Larry coached an NBA record 8 different teams to the NBA playoffs and ranks 4th among all-time NBA coaches in playoff wins. He won his 900th career NBA game in 2005, becoming the 7th coach in NBA history to win 900 games. He also became the 2nd Pistons coach to lead the organization to back-to-back NBA Finals appearances. Hustle and defense are trademarks of a Larry Brown coach team. They always played the right way and shared the ball.
But people will say that Phil Jackson always has had an advantage that you may have not have had in your career, which is, he's coached Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, on and on and on. And in all fairness to the guys you're playing with in Detroit now, they're not yet of that caliber, are they?
We were pretty good, David. I think the neatest thing about this team is they played the right way. They played together. We were great 1 to 12. Chauncey told you they really were a team and they respected each other. And I think the nice thing about us winning is it's going to help coaches all over, because young kids, I think, get caught up in basketball being an individual sport. And I think the way we played, I think it'll help a lot of coaches when they talk about kids, the importance of being part of a team. Every time you step out on the floor, make your teammates better, do it as hard as you can to the best of your ability, and respect the game.
Prior to joining the Pistons, Larry spent time with the Philadelphia 76ers, taking them to the NBA Finals. He also spent 4 seasons as head coach of the Indiana Pacers, the Los Angeles Clippers, San Antonio Spurs, New Jersey Nets, and Denver Nuggets, who he helped transition from the ABA to the NBA in 1976-77. He also coached internationally as well. In 2000, Larry was assistant coach for the gold medal winning men's basketball team at the Sydney Olympics. He's the only U.S. male to both play and coach in the Olympics, serving as the head coach of Team USA for the 2004 Olympic Games in Athens. He led the team to a bronze medal. he was a great player as well. 3-time ABA All-Star, he holds the ABA record with 23 assists in a game and was the MVP of the ABA All-Star game in 1968. Tonight, he joins his brother Herb as a member of the Michigan Jewish Sports Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, the coach, Larry Brown.
Woo! They told me I only had 2 minutes to speak.
Take as long as you want.
But one, I'd like to congratulate all the people that were honored today. It's a wonderful thing to be part of this. I'm also thrilled some of my former players are here. I wish they all could be here. It's a thrill for me to be in with Arnie. I think I've been with a lot of special people in my life, but I don't think I've ever been with one that cared more about the people he worked with. Rip said it best, but it's pretty special, Arnie, and I'm glad I'm going into this class with you. My mother'd be happy because my brother got in. And I read my brother's biography, and that was pretty incredible. They told me I had to write my biography. I didn't know where to start. But why am I here? World Wide Wes called Detroit and said he had a young Jewish coach who was looking for a job, and he figured Detroit would be a good place to be. I followed Rick Carlisle. When you follow a great coach who had great values, you're really lucky to have that opportunity. Rick did a heck of a job, left me with a great team. I really appreciate the fact that Joe Dumars and John Hammond gave me this chance, but the man that really gave me the chance was Mr. Davidson. I don't think anybody could work for a better owner than Mr. D. I wish he was here, but I'm honored to be in the same, group with him as well. When I was a little boy, I used to read Chip Hilton books, and they had a coach by the name of Rockwell, and he coached baseball, basketball, football, and in the summer, American Legion baseball. And that's exactly what I wanted to do. Somewhere along the line, I got short track and ended up being a professional and college coach. Frank McGuire recruited my mother. He wanted to get a Jewish backcourt kid, and he thought I'd be careful with the ball. First game I ever played, I got in late in the game. We were up by 17, and we were up by 34, and in 2 minutes we ended up winning by 17. And I remember him banging me on the locker, telling me that we were the white team, LSU is the purple team. You're supposed to throw it to the white team, but that was the start. After he got on me a little bit, he gave me a kiss when I went home, made my day. Being a coach is such a special thing. I hear everybody saying all these wonderful things about individual sports and team sports. Our country would be a hell of a lot better if they learn about sports teams and how they operate. Because the only thing that really matters is, are you a decent person? Can you play? And do you have respect for others? And I think some ways we're losing that. And I'm just hopeful that, we can go back and think about that a little bit. A little bit about Detroit. I might ruin your story, Arnie, and you might have it a little different than me. But like I said, I took over a great team. They were great from 1 to 12. they thought I was a devil for about 2 months. And I think most of the teams I ever coached thought I was a devil and probably still do. But I remember we were playing in the championship game 2 against the Lakers. We won game 1, and that was the years that you played 2 away, 3 home, and then 2. We were up 3 points with about 6 or 7 seconds to go, and we had a timeout. And we very rarely fouled because our guys had so much pride in one another and the ability they felt we could stop other people from scoring. But at that timeout, you know, I figured Kobe Bryant's going to make a 3. We're going to go in overtime, and you never know what's going to happen in overtime. So at the timeout, I said, hey, guys, why don't we foul? And normally when I would tell them something, they'd huddle up after and decide what they were going to do anyway. And we never hacked a Shaquille. As a matter of fact, every time I see Shaquille, he kisses me on the lips because he averaged 44 against us. But at the timeout, I told them, and they all looked at me and said, we don't foul, Coach. We're not about to foul. I said, well, what if they throw it at Shaquille? Let's foul him. And naturally, they went out and decided, you know, that they could do what they're going to do. Kobe made an unbelievable shot. We went to overtime. We lost. And I'm feeling pretty bad. I remember we're flying back to Detroit, and the players are up in first class playing cards, just talking. And I went up and kind of apologized to him. I said, guys, I blew that. I should have been smart enough to make sure that we did the right thing and maybe fouled. And I remember they told me to get my ass back in the back. We're not going back to LA. So we ended up winning 3 straight. And when I hear all these people talking about Detroit and what this city means, I think that maybe one of the highlights of my life was after we won the championship and having the parade go through the city of Detroit and seeing all the real fans, the people that couldn't afford maybe to go to the Palace, but the passion and love they had for our team was just incredible, and it's something that I'll always remember. Every time I go around now, most people think when you get old, you're too dumb to coach anymore. But I'm fortunate enough to go to other places to watch people coach. And I'm the one that generally learns. But I always tell them, if you want to really know the right way to play, watch the Detroit Pistons in 2004 and 2005. There wasn't a selfish player on that team. Everybody cared and loved one another. And if you're going to be in a team sport, I don't think there's a better example of the Detroit Pistons. I'm honored to be here. I wish I could spend more time. Congratulations to everybody else. Arnie, you're the best, and you deserve everything you're going to get tonight. Thank you.
Larry Brown, ladies and gentlemen. Pistons could use some of that magic. They're losing by 4 now. Oh, by 1 with 1:02 left. All right. Ken was an all-league, all-area, all-county, and all-AP, all-state, and then a 3-time letter winner in college and football. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Ken Grenadier's road to the Hall of Fame.
Ken was always interested in sports. In his younger days, he played basketball, golf, tennis, baseball, football, and ran track. He even bowled, and as he got older, football became his passion. Ken is a 1981 graduate of Birmingham Groves, where he played football and ran track. He was all-league, all-area, all-county, and AP all-state in football as a senior. Ken's senior year, Groves finished as MHSAA co-champs. Also that year, He was a starting halfback, linebacker, return punts, and kickoffs, and was the team's place kicker. He led the 1980 team in tackles and set a school record with a 71-yard punt return for a touchdown. In the summer of 1981, Ken played in Michigan's first high school all-star game, starting as a strong safety and punt returner on the East team. He had 12 tackles in that game, which the East won 6-3. After graduating from Groves, Ken attended the University of Toledo, where he was a 3-time letter winner in football and played on 2 MAC championship teams in 1981 and 1984. He was selected to the 1983 and 1984 Jewish All-America teams and was honorable mention Academic All-MAC in 1983 and first-team Academic All-MAC in 1984. While in college, Ken received his private pilot's license at the age of 20. Ken has a successful career in technology, currently a vice president of sales strategy at the world's leading cybersecurity company. Congratulations to Ken Grenadier on his induction to the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation Hall of Fame.
Come on up, Kenny. You're now a Hall of Famer.
Didn't need these 35 years ago. It's great to follow Coach Brown, Coach Bernstein, 35 million conference championships, NCAA championship, world championship. I made a few tackles and recovered a couple fumbles, and I got here, so I want to thank you for that. But in all sincerity, I want to thank the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation for this great honor. I am truly humbled. I also want to thank a lot of other people. I want to thank my wife, who could not be here. She's at home in Colorado taking care of our kids. She really didn't have anything to do with my sports career, but I was told if you thank your wife when you're thanking other people, that's a smart thing to do. So I want to thank her. Actually, her dad was my Little League baseball coach, so that's why I excelled in football. But in any case, I want to thank a lot of people. The whole row, the fifth row, is here to support me. So I'm not going to thank them name by name. I'm going to thank my friend Dr. Gus Brooks, because he paid me to do that. But I want to just really want to thank my mom and dad. My mom, Karen, and my dad, Ronnie, they set me down the path of participating in sports at a very young age. They gave me opportunities most people, can really only dream of. I played just about every sport in elementary school, and eventually I decided to focus on football. Every success that I had on the field really could be attributed to what my dad did for me. He introduced me to college athletes and college coaches. He sent me to every sports camp that there was. He gave me relentless coaching tips, whether they were welcome or not. But he really set the stage for me in sports. He gave me opportunities to succeed. I also want to thank Coach Harrington, who I haven't seen since 1981, when he was one of the assistant coaches in the Michigan All-Star game that I was fortunate enough to play in. But athletics have been really my whole life since I can remember, and set me down the path to learn how to be a team player, to learn how to be a leader, to learn how to suffer through losses and defeats. Everything that I am today is somehow related to my athletic career. The desire to win, I learned through sports, probably eclipsed only by my hatred of losing. So that was something I learned in sports as well. And even though it's been over 35 years now since I wore my uniform for the last time, I can honestly say that the years I played football were the most impactful years of my life. The friends made, injuries overcome, winter conditioning and two-a-day sessions survived, victories achieved, championships won. They'll forever be woven into my fabric of my life, and they truly define who I am as a man and who I will forever be. Mostly, I just want to thank my parents again for giving me the opportunity, and I want to thank all of you for your time and for your efforts. Thank you.
Arnie Kander's interest in strength and conditioning began during his career as a professional dancer with the Virginia Ballet Company. Taking that passion, he became an innovator in the field of injury prevention, sports rehab, and physical conditioning. Here is Arnie Kander's Hall of Fame presentation.
Arnie is entering his 25th season with the Detroit Pistons, serving as a consultant to the club's medical staff for the second consecutive year. From 1992 to 2015, Arnie was a vital part of the team's medical staff, serving as strength and conditioning coach. His unique rehabilitation methods and recovery approach made him one of the NBA's top sports medicine and rehabilitation experts. His duties included the prevention, treatment, and rehabilitation of injuries. An innovator in the field of injury prevention, sports rehab, and physical conditioning, Arnie is renowned in the professional sports world for his methods of application. He's designed recovery and workout programs that have proven to be quite successful. He's received credit for expediting the development of Detroit's young players while maximizing the conditioning and overall health of the team's veteran group. A 1987 graduate in physical therapy from Wayne State, Arnie submitted several research projects on isokinetic strength testing, jump training, and developing a jump platform system. Arnie began his career as the sports coordinator at Crittenden Fitness Institute and then moved to Rochester Knee and Sports Therapy. He began his association with the Pistons while working at Rochester Knee and Sports. He left the Pistons organization to join former head coach Flip Saunders at the Minnesota Timberwolves in 2015 and oversaw the sports medicine program for 2 seasons. While working for the Pistons, Arnie Kander consulted and developed conditioning programs for some of the Detroit area's finest professional and amateur athletes. Congratulations to Arnie Kander on his induction into the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, Arnie Kander.
So I knew something was a big deal when Jeff Sakwa called me about 3 months ago. I was at the Pistons Summer League, and in the 25 years I've known Jeff, he's never left a message, probably 1,000 voicemails. It's more than 3 words. It's always Shack Attack, Jeff, call me back, Jeff, bye. This one had 15 words. I had to replay it 3 times. Arnie, something amazing. It's really a great news. Give me a call back. Anytime you get a chance, make sure you call me. I'm available anytime. I'm like, this cannot be the same guy. So I call back, and I get a hold of Jeff and Stoney on the phone, and they said, some amazing news. You know, you've been inducted and nominated into the Jewish Sports Hall of Fame. And sat back for a second, took a breath, and my first words back were Mr. Davidson. When I got the good fortune of working with Mr. Davidson for 22 years, he came to every practice. The practice site was built before Guardian Industries, and he would come over, and Rip and Ben can attest, and Wes and John Long and Earl Curitan. We'd play tennis every day. I was kind of like the Washington Generals, and he was the Harlem Globetrotters. I lost probably 1,000 consecutive matches to him, but every match was extremely close. I got really good at playing the game. So a couple things about Mr. Davidson. When I asked him, you know, he's been inducted obviously into the Basketball Hall of Fame, the one in Massachusetts, the Michigan Hall of Fame, and then the Michigan Jewish Sports Hall of Fame. I said, Mr. Davidson, what of the 3 would you say is the biggest deal? And he said, without a doubt, this one. And I said, can you explain why? And he said, family and community. Family and community. They know you here. The other 2 places, they don't really know you. So again, family, community is very important for me. The other aspect of Mr. Davidson, we'd set a goal every year. He'd come in, we'd work out, we'd train, we'd do things. And in 2004, we knew we had a special team. Obviously, we got some amazing players. And I said, what's your goal for this year? He goes, well, I need to get up on that podium and hold that trophy. So we knew what the height of the step was to get up. We knew the weight of the trophy. We knew the angle of bend when you accept a trophy. So it's kind of like davening, right? Davening. So we said every day we do 50 davens, we would bend, accept the trophy. We worked on shoulder press to accept the trophy. The mistake I made, I was 4 inches short on the step height to step up on the podium. So when we got to the step, I looked at it and I said, oh, we did not work at that height. So thank God for Ben Wallace, reached out with a fist and pulled Mr. Davidson up onto, so Ben played a hell of a game, but he also helped Mr. Davidson get a trophy. So The second thing that came to mind was Coach Brown. So, Coach, you gave me accolades. Let me give you a few accolades. So I've probably had, 17 head coaches. And I don't know if that's a good thing to have 17 head coaches. But the coach... Yeah, that's why we get along so well. So Coach Day One, I always go up to the head coach and I said, all right, how do you want the information relayed? Do you want me to give you medical information? How deep do you want it? He goes, Arnie, I don't want to know anything. Just tell me if they can play or they can't. I said, we're going to get along great. So we had a young man that was dealing with some back spasms, and he's a guy that never liked to come to training camp. And Coach, you know who I'm talking about. So he goes, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to put a treatment table 4 feet away from the court. And he goes, 4 feet away from the court? Yeah, because eventually you get tired of being near the court and not being able to practice. So the goal is to be on the court. 3 days later, he normally took 2 months to come back. He was back on the court in 3 days. So I'm not saying there was something wrong with him, but there are ways, there's methods to our madness. The group that is here today, for example, call Ben Wallace up, call Rip Hamilton up, call Wes up, John and Earl, and say, hey, we've got this special event. Coach Brown and me are being inducted into this really amazing thing. And Rip was just the other day, he goes, I'm there on a flight. Ben was the other day. Again, not even thinking about it. I'm thinking, okay, I'll call these guys last second. I'm there. Wes was the other day, making time. Pistons are playing tonight and making their time to be here for myself, obviously for Coach Brown. I mean, to me, that's what family's about. Earl Cureton, John Long. We in the NBA live in what I call the Black and Decker world. That's basically new name in. And I don't believe in that. It's always been about family. It's been about relationship. It's been about community. It's those 2 a.m, me and Rip conversations. What's life going on? It's me and Ben talking family. And it didn't end when I ended with the Pistons, or they were no longer with the Pistons. Ben's in Chicago. We're still having rap sessions about what's going on. Hey, how's your shin? I saw you in Cleveland, you got banged up. Hey, Rip, how's your elbow doing? I saw you got banged up. It's all about family. It's about relationships. It's about community. It's not X's and O's. It's not about medicine. It's not about knees and hips. Yeah, we take care of all of that. It's really about relationship. And speaking of that, I thank my brother Rod, my sister Audrey, my Iris, my sister-in-law, my cousins Robin, Chuck, Riva, and then probably someone who got more hugs today than anyone is Dr. Mark Warner, and everybody who knows Dr. Mark Warner, right? We're only as successful as those around us, meaning I can get whatever, a few accolades, or Arnie did a nice job, or we won games because of health. But Mark was behind the scenes at 2 a.m. Hey, Mark, I got a guy with a cold. Can he come over and see you? He's probably delivered every baby. He's an OBGYN internal medicine specialist. He's delivered pretty much every baby of every player that we've ever had. Now, why is that important? Because if your family's healthy, your kids are healthy, that means Ben Wallace is getting some sleep at night. That means Rip Hamilton's getting some sleep at night. I'm not hearing from Wes saying, what's up with my guy now? Take care of it. So Dr. Warner, thank you for all of your years of service, for being there. You should be up here with me. And I thank my wife and my wife Denise and my son Ian and Lindsay. They're also back in Colorado supporting me. I've been getting text every 15 minutes saying, Dad, way to go. And I thank my parents. They're no longer here, but my mom was a huge Piston fan. And she used to have on her fridge pictures, and one of them was her and Ben Wallace. And also, she had a great relationship with Rip. You don't realize, we always hear about athletes this, athletes this. I don't know, maybe I was just very fortunate. But the athletes I've worked about cared about family, they cared about community, they cared about relationship, and that's why we're all here. We're all brothers still. So I thank you for this special honor. Thank you for this incredible experience here. And again, congratulations to everybody else for their honor. Thank you.
Arnie Kander. And while he was speaking, it was fitting enough. D. Rose with a layup, 20-some seconds left. Pistons do win tonight, 96-94. By the way, I'm sure he'll be embarrassed by saying this, but I don't care. I had the great fortune of inviting Rip Hamilton to come out and play golf at Tam O'Shanter Country Club this summer. Congratulations to the one person who goes to play golf and he forgets his shoes and his clubs. but he's still a hell of a lot better golfer than I am, which, of course, isn't saying any much. Thanks, Rip. Our last two presentations tonight recognize Larry Sherry of blessed memory. He and his brother Norm were a great twosome of catcher and pitcher. Additionally, Cale Wasserman, our last inductee, was unable to be with us tonight. He's in the middle of his soccer season. He was unable to come into town at the last minute.
Larry Sherry dazzled the baseball world in 1959 when he pitched the Dodgers into the World Series against the White Sox and then proceeded to shut down the Sox in the series to give the Dodgers the World Series title. A right-handed reliever, mostly with the Tigers and the Dodgers, he was the most valuable player of the 1959 World Series when the Dodgers won its first championship after relocating from Brooklyn. He was then traded to the Tigers before the 1964 season and spent 3.5 years in Detroit. He had 37 saves in his 4 years with the Tigers, earning a career-best 20 saves in 1966, third best in the American League. He played with the Tigers from 1965 to 1967. He also played with Houston in 1967. He spent his final season playing for the California Angels in 1968. Larry and his brother Norm, who caught for the Dodgers from 1959 to 1962, became the first all-Jewish battery in Major League history. Larry Sherry died at the age of 71 after a long battle with cancer at his home in California in 2006. Cale is head coach of the Southern Illinois University Edwardsville men's soccer team. Most recently, he was recruiting coordinator and assistant coach at Michigan State for 4 seasons. He previously served as head coach of the under-18 USA youth team for Maccabi USA and as an associate head coach for the Detroit FC and the NPSL. Cale graduated from Saginaw Valley, where he played soccer 4 years. His coaching career began as a volunteer for Saginaw in 2006. Prior to Michigan State, Cale served as the head coach at Division II Saginaw Valley State University, where he guided the program to its first 3 NCAA tournament appearances in 2011, 2012, and 2014. Cale was recognized as the 2012 NSCAA National Coach of the Year. He also earned recognition as the Great Lakes Intercollegiate Athletic Conference Coach of the Year in 2011 and 2012. He amassed a 5-year record of 64, 23, and 15. Congratulations to Cale Wasserman on his induction in the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation Hall of Fame.
All right. Congratulations to all the Hall of Fame, the Pillar of Excellence, and students this evening. On behalf of the Michigan Jewish Sports Foundation, thank you very much for coming to celebrate the achievements of all our distinguished honorees. We hope to see you at the 4th Annual Behind the Game Sports Panel and Dinner this April. And June 8th at the 30th Annual, that's the 30th Annual Hank Greenberg Memorial Golf and Tennis Invitational at Franklin Hills Country Club. The celebration continues in the JCC lobby for dessert and coffee. The silent auction will close in 15 minutes. And if you have time tomorrow morning from 6 to 10, you can listen to me and Jamie, 97.1 the ticket. And at 7:25, you can win $2,000 in the 2 Grand Slam. Thanks, everybody. Love you.